question and I say, yeah.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. This is He Speaks with Kareem Rocker. Y'all, I am having difficulty this morning. I must have started this sermon the whole time having camera difficulties, forgetting to put chips in and working with a different camera because my other camera's going through some things right now. But hey, we all go through some things sometimes. Sometimes you gotta get some things fixed. You gotta take them, you use things happen and life happens. But man, when life is happening, sometimes man, it gets you. I tracked my preaching and I realized it had been 4 months since I really had been preaching. And I realized that, putting out a lot drains you, and I probably wasn't ready for that spiritual draining like that the way I was putting out. And then my dad passing, it just kind of had me kind of going back to, my old stuff and old ways and traditions, and that's kind of what we do. We stumble a little bit while we walking, and we tend to fall back. As they say, I ain't gonna say backslide, but you just kind of, I wasn't talking to God. I was reading my Bible. I wasn't reading it like I study it. I read a Bible verse a day or so and pray, pray over my food, pray with my wife. But I wasn't studying this word like I get down, like I had been, like I know is what I need, So I started feeling like my old self, man, and I felt like robbing again. And when I say that, if you know me, when I was young, I was a rambunctious young man. I did a lot of grown stuff when I was a kid, because I worked all summer with grown men and ran them as a crew. By the time I got back to, 10th, 11th grade, being a 16-year-old just didn't appeal to me no more. I was grown all summer. I was making $16 an hour when I was 16. And so I was making $18 an hour when I was 18. I was making money like that. And so I even though I was good at school, I just kind of feel like I didn't need it. I was being young, but I loved roofing. I loved the atmosphere. I loved being with my people. Talk, the things we did. It was grown men up there doing grown men stuff. And I was around it all summer, so soaking up that game like that, it was hard to go back and just be a regular old, 15, 16-year-old. I was buying cars and having money. And I had to because my mama didn't have it like that. It wasn't, I had that money to just throw away. Man, my mama didn't have it like that. If you knew me in high school, you knew we was getting it out the mud. We came to Texas on nothing, just me and mama. My brothers was already out doing their things. It was just me and mama, and it was rough. But I felt like robbing, going back to them old ways. When I say I felt like robbing, that's my old way, whatever your old way was. Maybe you got in shape and you went back to your old ways of eating. Maybe you was off drugs and you went back to your old ways of shooting dope again. Now you get looking for the booger sugar all day long. All you're doing is looking for that thing. You're searching for the meth. You're looking for the Z. You're looking for the E. You're looking for the Molly. Whatever it is. But you are searching for that old thing to give you that feeling of assurance. And so what I did was, man, I sat down and had I ain't have a come to Jesus meeting. I sat down and talked to God, a conversation with God. And my conversation with God, it would probably scare most people. Yesterday was the first time I did it in front of my wife. And I know my wife probably think I'm crazy. No, my wife don't think I'm crazy. In fact, my wife know I'm crazy. But crazy in a way that I don't just take BS. And when I get mad and I feel like I am, we feel entitled. We feel like we're old. Feel like we've done good. We've done what we're supposed to do, and things don't go. And if you're a businessman, you looked at that fourth quarter, it was not pretty. And if you looked at that first quarter, it was ugly. I'm talking Bubba Sparks ugly. It was ugly. And so you might be like me. You're looking for other ways to have that money coming in because child support don't stop. Bills don't stop. Everybody want their money. And if you want to keep living, you got to do some things sometimes. I've been in business 17 years now, and I had to go get a job a few times, Had to go get a job to hold the business down because business insurance ain't cheap. And your web pages ain't cheap. And leads for roofing ain't cheap. So you got to be able to do these things to hold the business. And sometimes when you get down and the economy get bad and gas prices are high and food is high, you feel like going back to robbing because there's an uncertainty. So you probably feel the same way. You might feel like you want to go back to your old stuff. So I'm talking to God, man, and we having this conversation. And if you know me, I'm a smoker, so I done rode one, I'm smoking, I'm crying, I'm telling God, I'm pleading to God, and I'm pleading my case to God. And you should be able to do that with God. Stop acting like you can only go and oh my God, and give it all. No, man, sit down and get real. Have a real conversation with God. Stop playing with him. He don't want your fakeness. He knew you before you was in your mama's womb. You think he want to deal with your fake work voice? You stop talking to God in your white people voice. Excuse me, white people, I ain't mean it like that, but black people know what I'm talking about. Are you serious? Are you serious? You think he give a care about all them SAT words? Lord, the economy is ambiguous. You think he care about being, you know? So I'm talking to God, and you would probably think he was hitting me with Bible verses and he hit me. No. When you really have a conversation with God, it is a dialogue. When you're talking to a non-believer, you should have a dialogue. Don't hit them with so many Bible verses. They trying to figure out the numbers and why they don't know the Bible verse, and then you looking for the check back and the back and forth, and they don't know won't you do? Yes, they don't know all that stuff, and they don't know that because they not a believer. They ain't in that. I don't even know that church stuff like that because I'm not a church person. I'm a God person. But I guess I'm having church. I'm talking to God, and he didn't hit me with a lot of Bible verses. He hit me with one. I realized, like I say, we'd be looking for that assurance, that blanket, the bink, that thing that makes us feel assurance. If you was a thumb sucker, it's a thumb in your mouth. If you're sex addict, it's sex. It's maybe you gotta go have a little wank. I don't know. Whatever it is, you want to go back to that comfort, something that comforts you. So he hit me with one. And the one he hit me with was 2 Corinthians 5 and 7. 2 Corinthians 5 and 7. If you're a believer, you know this one. For we walk by faith, not by sight. Walk by faith, not by sight. So we're looking for this assurance. Assurance. You remember the story when Jesus told the disciples to go over to the other land over there. He basically told, he always with them, but he told them to go over there. He's going to go over here and preach up on the mountain by himself and do some things, and I'm going to meet y'all over there. Y'all going over there, I'm going to meet y'all over there. And the disciples get to going over there, and while they're going over there, a storm starts to happen. I'm talking about big old waves. They're in a little boat. They're in a boat, not a ship. They're in a boat. And they're in the boat, and they're floating on across, and in a big old storm. I'm talking about big old waves. It's all over this boat. It's big. And they see a spirit in the middle of this just glowing out there, scares them. Woo, is that a ghost? Then, Peter being a fisherman, he know what's supposed to be out there in that water. Lord, is that you? And Jesus, he calmed the ocean, said, peace, be still. Made the ocean look like glass. Do you know how still water got to be to look like glass? Look like glass. And Peter said, Lord, if that's you, let me come to you. And the Lord said, Peter, come. Peter took a step out on that water, and he is walking on this water. One step, then took another step. Peter is now walking on water, y'all. He is going to Jesus. And I'm telling you, it looked like you can't make it. You don't have the insurance. But if you go to Jesus, you can walk on water, but we ain't done with this thing. As he starts to walk on water, the glass starts to break. And all of a sudden the waves go back to doing what waves do. They crash and they move, and the ocean is doing what they do. And Peter started to doubt. And Peter started to sink. I'm telling you, sometime when you're walking on water doing your thing, storm comes. Like now, it's a storm. It's worldwide storm. We all feeling this thing. Right out of a pandemic, and now prices so high, high as giraffe. Just high. Excuse my French, but high, Times hard as Chinese arithmetic, Hard times right now. But you're starting to doubt. I started to doubt. Started to sink, not sink financially. I guess maybe we are sinking. That's why we started to doubt. And it maybe not you're not sinking yet, but you see it's not looking pretty going forward. And you feel like you're sinking. You're spiritually sinking back into your old ways. And God reached down and grabbed him and pulled him up. And said, Peter, why did you doubt? Oh, ye of little faith. The man just walked on water. Jesus said, ye of little. I'm telling you, you need this faith. Walking every step with you. You can't go back to the old ways. It ain't going to work for you. When you need that assurance, you need that confirmation to how am I going to make it? How am I going to do it? Where's it going to come from? When you need that vision, when you can't get it, you don't know where you're going to get it from. You can't see no more. You got to remember, when you in him, you don't need it. You don't need assurance. You don't need vision. You don't need confirmation. You can walk in faith. Not know. And do things everybody else can't do. Because if you know anybody else walked on water, leave his name in the comments. But he walked on water and doubted. Sometimes you might have felt like you was walking on water. Felt like you was doing your thing in your groove. And everything's clicking on cylinders, the bank accounts are looking nice. And then all of a sudden, you find yourself starting to sink. Gas prices rise, food get high. Go pandemic ends, kids are back in school, and everything all of a sudden hits you. And like I say, all this is from a conversation with God. But he ain't hit me with just one Bible verse. That's all. So after I'm done crying and pleading, well, God hit me, God hit me with the, and he listens. He will listen. But you gotta be quiet. You gotta be really in tune with the Lord on this thing. I ain't really be listening for the voice of the Lord inside of you, that spirit. It ain't a loud voice. What he says rings out. But it ain't loud. You need to be quiet while this thing is happening. You can't have the TV on. Nobody else needs to be talking. You don't need nobody else on the phone pulling up videos that get loud and all that. You need to be quiet. You need to be focused on talking to the Lord. But when I was done, I must have studied out, man, I wrote 8, 9 sermons. And you're going to hear these sermons coming in the next 30 days, because now, somehow, after I finish going to God and have a conversation with God and plead my case, I end up on a 30-day fast and a 30-day, I guess I'm not going to call it a challenge, but a 30-day fast of fasting from food. It's funny, it always seems to come around Ramadan, I guess. Even old traditions still kind of reign, but even though Ramadan was a tradition of faith, so I guess, God knows how my body works, so I tend to fast in Ramadan. I don't even intend it to be that way, it seems to fall that way. But I'm on that 30-day fast, but also a 30-day of doing this word. What would happen if we actually walked by faith, not just on Sunday, not just on Saturday night to Sunday morning for a few hours? What if we did this thing every day? What if we really walked by faith and and put our life in his hand and let him do this thing? What if we really just relied on him and then still did your thing? I ain't saying I'm not going to work. I'm finna sit on my butt. I'm anxious to get to it. But I'm not going to look for that assurance. And if it look like I ain't going to make it, I'm going to have the faith that we always make it, because we always do. Don't we? We always make it. So remember, we always make it. And activate that faith. That's in 2 Corinthians 5 and 7. Walk by faith, not by sight. But when I was done, like I say, I went through a lot of Bible verses. Like I said, I wrote about 8 sermons. You'll hear them in the next 7-8 days. And the next one I came to, I went to Jeremiah. And I ain't talking about a bullfrog. I'm talking about Jeremiah of the Bible. So I hit Jeremiah 1. And we're going to read 5 through 10 out the King James. We all in King James today. We ain't doing no quadribiblical. We hitting King James only. But we in Jeremiah 1 and 5. Before I formed thee, 5 through 10. Jeremiah 1 and 5 through 10. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Then said I, Lord God, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But the Lord said unto me, say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee. And whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, said the Lord. Then the Lord put forth his hand and touched my mouth. And the Lord said unto me, behold, I have put my words in thy mouth. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and pull down and to destroy, and to throw down and to build and to plant. Now, if you heard my conversation with God, you would swear that was just like the most beautiful chess move ever. Because in my conversation with God, I told you, I ain't scared of people being in my face, as he say, them in your faces. But sometimes when you're outputting, you need some feedback. So anybody out there that I'm encouraging, you need this word, you're watching it. If you're watching it, leave me some encouragement. Can I get some feedback? Some in the comments, a like, a comment, a share, something. Because sometimes it feels like I'm not getting through because I'm not getting the reciprocation. And that's what I was mad about, because my nature is to get others to their goals and get other people and pray for others. And sometimes, if you watch my last sermon, I don't get to mine. And sometimes when you don't get to yours and you help people get to theirs, and you invest in people for years, and you teach people how to do things, and you got people working for you, you invested for them, you loan them $500, but boy, if you got low on them and owed them $200 for a week, they talk bad about you. You done lied to their probation officers while you half crossed the country for them. They talk bad about you, leave you just dry in the middle of a job when your back go out. You feel empty. And it's output to help others. But that's how I move. I set my goals on your goals. I try to get people prayers and their stuff needed. I ain't gonna worry about mine. But I ain't Superman. I put my glasses on right now. You will see I'm Clark Kent. I'm just a man. I'm just a man. You see, I'm just a man. And sometimes, as they say, you get weary. You don't get lonely, but you get tired. You constantly helping people, investing in people. And man, you just don't get that harvest. And I realized like that's life. But just because it's life don't mean it don't hurt sometimes. It don't get to you eventually. Man, I invested in 3 brothers in particular in my roofing company. One of them, they work for somebody else. All of them work for somebody else. But years of investing and teaching in these brothers. I say brothers, but 2 of them Puerto Rican. But invested in these brothers, man, and they all work for somebody else now. So it leaves you with a void when you invest in somebody, man. You teach these brothers, you pay them, you loan them money, man. You drag them across the country, you teach them, you hook them up, you show them the game, and they don't say that or reciprocate. They won't even give you a shout out. Shoot, half of them they blocked on my Facebook just cause they such a hater or such with that foolishness, or we just ain't there no more. Because I am human, and beside all this preaching, I'm not going to take no BS, as I say. I'm not a BS taker. That's why when I conversate with God, I don't go fake. It's a real conversation. As I say, I talk to God as I would talk to my closest brother. Now, when growing up, my closest brother was Nathan. But now that I'm older, my closest brother is Terry. Because that's the one I conversate on the regular with. Me and Nathan are still close, but it's the difference of who I conversate normally with. And even a conversation with Nathan is different than a conversation with Terry because they're different brothers. It's a different comfort level. Me and Terry probably can argue over everything and there ain't no love lost. We could, we actually have fun in the argument. We appreciate having the juxtapose between us. But the way I talk to Terry is how I talk to God. The way I talk to Nathan as a young boy is how I talk to God. I talk to them in a very comfortable manner. I don't have to change my tongue. I don't have to hide the cuss words or the N words or none of that. I don't have to hide my anger. I don't have to hide myself. If tears come, they just come. It's a comfort level of going to God and saying, God, I need you. It's hard. I can't see it. It's clouded. I'm sinking. Grab my hand. And he grabbed my hand. Oh, I felt so much better. Felt so much better. I studied for hours. So I was still studying. I watched the North Carolina and Duke game. Besides all of that, I made a beat. I make a beat every day though. But I studied for hours. And when I even try to stop, I would go back and hit another one. I wrote 8 sermons. And like I say, I end up on a 30-day fast, which I've been fasting that whole day because I don't eat when I'm angry like that with the world. I'm mad at the food too. But for you, the food might be the thing you was going back into. Some people's is drugs, some people's money, some people's sex, some people's porn, some people, whatever it was you was sinking back into. But the Lord said, I put my hand on your mouth, and I've been told you what to do. How about you just go do what I said do and stop with all the eyes and the mind and the me. And yeah, ministers say I, my, and me sometimes. You may not say it to y'all because I don't like going to outlet stores. I go straight to the manufacturer. So, but I don't go being disrespectful. I know it's God. But I go and asking as a child would go, as your children will ask you for money for anything. You ever seen the cash app? That cash app is $25, $40. Anytime. They don't have no shame to it. You shouldn't have no shame going to your father either. Because he loves you more than an earthly father ever could. So God hit me with this and said, I told you. Stop worrying about them giving back to you. He said, you want them to give back? How about you just ask him? Maybe you need to ask him. So I'm asking you to give back to me. If I'm touching you with my ministry, if you're listening to it, if it touches you sometime, I ain't saying you just living with me just like what, dying waiting on the next one. But if you listen to it, if you like it, come and share it. Tell me. Tell me where I'm helping you at. Tell me what you need. Give me a prayer request. I'm going to ask for prayer requests all this month. I'm going to be praying for other people because I refuse to go back to myself or worrying about I mind me, because I mind me ain't never got me nowhere. But sinking. Sinking. See, I like to think when Peter got out that boat, he wanted to go see for them other 11 disciples in that boat. He wanted to see for them. He wasn't thinking about himself, drowning in that water. It wasn't I mind me. He was, let me make sure it's you, Lord. I'm going to you, Lord. I'm not even thinking about me. I'm thinking about you. I'm going to you. For them. Because they're scared. We're going to make sure that is the Lord. And if I go, then y'all can go. So I'm going to make sure. Clear the path. Have the vision. But while he had the path and making sure he had the vision, it started getting cloudy again. The way he started tossing them around, but you're still walking on water. Started to sink. Started to sink. You know your physical mind tells you ain't no start to sink in water. You just drop. I tell you tomorrow, go find you a pool and see if you can start to sink in it. Unless you want to step, you gonna drop. But he started to sink. See, we ain't drowned yet, but we starting to sink. Put your hand up. Ask him, Lord, please save me. With faith. With faith, have that hand up. With faith. See, man's nature, it's easy to go back to our nature. I got mad at my nature. My nature is just to help people. I like to change people for the better. You know, this last thing he said, he brought you here to pull down, to destroy, to throw down, to build, and to plant. If you know me, I love the garden. I love to be in the garden. I just cooked some greens out my garden the other day. Excuse me. Cooked some greens out the garden the other day. And I love planting stuff. I like to grow it, you know, see it started from nothing and bring it all up and grow it out. I'll grow something all year, and then when the winter take it all out, I start a whole new vegetable next year, the whole new stuff. I just like to plant and grow. That's why this one hit me hard. When he said, I put you here to root out, to pull down, and to destroy, and to throw down, and to build, and to plant. But I ain't just talking collard greens. I like to plant in people. I like to build, and it's just what I do. So like I say, he didn't hit me with these, but after I was done talking to him, these hit me. And being my nature, I realized that that's what a minister is. Somebody who just likes to minister to other or to help the next man. So the last one I'm gonna hit you with here is Proverbs 27:17. Proverbs 27:17. With me now, say amen. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. Maybe some friends done me bad in the past. Maybe your followers don't like and share. Maybe your followers don't comment. Maybe it Your family don't even, watch. Nobody encourages you. Or maybe Will Smith walked on the stage and slapped you. Whatever it is not for you to return that slap. It is for you to sharpen that iron, as Chris Rock did. As much as I like what Will did for Jada, I like what Chris did for black people. And iron sharpens iron. And that's what a man is supposed to do to a friend. That's what I'm supposed to do to the people in my life. That's what I'm supposed to do to the people I touch. That's what I'm supposed to do to the world. It's to sharpen them. So I'm looking for people to sharpen. I'm looking for that artist. I'm looking for that young artist. I lost my artist. Rest in peace, Tez. A year and a half ago. Think about him daily. When I see the little money coming in from the little mixtape that we did and stuff, and I think about him daily. But I'm looking for the next one to sharpen that iron, and hopefully, hopefully the end won't be like that. I'll minister more into their life. Looking for that next protege, that friend, that young mind to influence, to sharpen. Maybe it's not even young. Who says it have to be young? That mind, period. Because I believe that's what I'm here to do. It's not for me to let me and I get in the way of him and what he's done for me and what I'm supposed to be doing. Whether or not it's reciprocated from the world, because this world will not be my friend, I know it. And I tell you, sometimes I preach is for you, but sometimes I'm just preaching to me. For you. Because if I'm going through it, I feel like you may be doing it too. So, take the Clark Kents off. Go and be Superman. But you ain't going to be Superman in yourself. You're going to be Superman in this world. This right here. Here's your super. You be the man. Stop trying to be the super and the man. For we walk by faith, not by sight. And that's what my conversation with God was about yesterday, y'all. Man, whew. I didn't get no prayer requests, but I'll be back at this thing tomorrow. Like I said, just an everyday thing for the next 30 days. So I normally don't do about 25, 26 a year. So I'm going to beat my whole year in the next 30 days. That's my goal. I'm fasting on this thing, and I'm walking by faith, and my hand is stretched out. And God challenged me to do it, and I'm challenging you to do it. Go on a 30-day fast and get into this word. Listen to my sermons. They're going to be good. I got some good ones coming for you. I got one coming up talking about God, the Bible would be canceled. I got some good stuff coming for you. So y'all tune in, like, share, comment, encourage. But until then, come on, y'all, let's pray. Lord, thank you. Thank you for pulling me out of the hole, grabbing my hand, pulling me back up on the water. When I was drowning, Lord, I was drowning in myself, drowning in the economy, drowning in gas prices, drowning in high food prices, drowning in business looking null and void, drowning in a slow fourth quarter and a null first quarter. Drowning in bills, drowning in life, Lord. I thank you. Thank you for pulling me up. Let me know I don't need to see where it's coming from. As long as I'm with you. That vision restored. Faith restored. Thank you, Lord. I thank you. For everybody out there listening, restore their faith, Lord. Restore their vision. Put them on a fast too, Lord. Put them with me for 30 days, and may I stay right here in this word and bring them nothing but humdinger straight to their heart. Pow. Pow. Zow. Right to their heart. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. I'm going to be right here for the next 30 days. Hungry. Hungry till 8 o'clock. Ooh, sometimes daylight saving time fast. Long time. Till 8 o'clock. 2 boiled eggs early in the morning, about 7. And before the sun really get up all day long. But it'll probably knock that little goody off. Need to get them off. I'm tired of people calling me pudgy. I mean, they polite with it, like, boy, you looking a little, you got your meat on your bones, is what my sister told me. And what old school Blue told me, boy, you looking a little pudgy, boy, they need to call your phones, you can get back to work. You're right. You're right, school. You're right, school. You dead right, school. But I'm fast to do that. You know, it ain't like I'm out of shape. I slightly work out, as best I could because my back's been out. But again, another big wave to fight. But we walking by faith on this thing. Been feeling good today. I do got a hot tub for a reason. Need that hot tub. That back just ain't right. But hey, we walking by faith. Let's stop talking about the waves. Let's stop talking about the water, the clouds, and the wind. Let's start talking about His word and get focused back on Him. Hey, y'all. Next 30 days, y'all, we're going to be right here. It's going to be all love, y'all. This has been He Speaks with Kareem Walker. Hey, y'all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.